Alabama continues to dominate in recruiting. We'll talk about that. Also today on Bama Tailgate Daily, we'll talk about Nick Saban going to Capitol Hill. ESPN's coming to town, and much, much more. This is the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like, subscribe. Where's Mick? We'll talk about all that coming up today on Bama Tailgate Daily. Elmore, appreciate you folks tuning our way today and talking a little Alabama football. Mick is under the weather since his trip, so I'm kind of filling in today for him. Let's talk about what's going on with Alabama football. There's a couple of things we want to get you kind of caught up on this spring break week. Of course, the team is on spring break. No practices this week, so it's kind of dead a little bit in Tuscaloosa, but probably fairly lively in Gulf Shores and Panama City and some of the other places are along the Gulf. But let's get started with Nick Saban. Of course, we talked about Saban, the NIL deals, the transfer portal. We talked about all of that here on the show. And we also mentioned that Coach Saban and Alabama Athletic Director Greg Byrne invited to Capitol Hill by Senator Ted Cruz to talk about NIL. And I've always been an advocate of Nick Saban maybe being the next commissioner of college football. He took a big step toward that. He's got a voice that people listen to. And when it comes to NIL, it had a lot to do with his retirement. And here's what Coach Saban had to say on Capitol Hill.
You know, one question I have to ask. You just retired from a amazingly and historically significant coaching career. How much did the current chaos and state of the law contribute to your decision to retire now?
Well, all the things that I believed in for all these years, 50 years of coaching, no longer exist in college athletics. So it's always was about developing players. It was always about helping people be more successful in life. My wife even said to me, we'd have all the recruits over on Sunday with their parents for breakfast, and she would always meet with the mothers and talk about how she was going to help and impact their sons and how they would be well taken care of. And she came to me, like right before I retired and said, why are we doing this? And I said, what do you mean? She said, all they care about is how much you're going to pay them. They don't care about how you're going to develop them, which is all what we've always done. So why are we doing this? So, to me, that was sort of a red alert that we really are creating a circumstance here that is not beneficial to the development of young people, which is why I always did what I did.
That's Coach Nick Saban talking about NIL. And he went on to say that he's had a couple of NFL coaches approach him to talk about how the players aren't developed like they used to be, how they didn't have, they had a sense of entitlement almost. So Coach Saban, Greg Byrne, and a host of others on Capitol Hill yesterday to talk about the NIL. Will it make a difference? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they restructure the way things are being done, but we'll keep an eye on that here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Now, let's talk a little bit of recruiting. Kalen DeBoer just cannot recruit, can he? How about Eric Smith? He is the latest commitment for 2025. And I tell you, he is a pure athlete. He's another guy that Alabama has snagged from the state of Alabama. He goes to Southside High School down in Selma. He is a consensus four-star He is categorized as athlete. He can play both sides of the football. It's going to be exciting to kind of see him in this program because on the offensive side of the football, he accounted for more than 2,500 yards and 23 touchdowns in his season, playing multiple positions there at Southside. And then on the defensive side of the football, Smith can play there too. He posted 98 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 8 interceptions, and 13 pass breakups. So he's the guy that can play both sides of the football. And a lot of teams were after him, including being offered by Auburn, Ole Miss, LSU, Georgia offered him. But Freddie Roach is the guy that was recruited and locked him in to the University of Alabama. So we give a lot of credit to Coach Kalen DeBoer for coming in from Washington and his staff, but still a name being brought up when we talk about recruiting is Freddie Roach. He has really done well recruit trail. So that adds to just a growing list of recruits that have been brought in, or at least committed, since Caleb DeBoer stepped on campus there at the University of Alabama. We talked about Zamir Smith the other day, class of 25. We just talked about Smith, Derek Smith, that is. The 5-star Ryan Williams, the wide receiver. Also, the big from Auburn and Antonio Coleman there on the D line. Added folks in the portal. Coach DeBoer has proven so far that he and his staff can recruit, and they're doing a pretty good job of doing that. Finally, here on the show today, let's talk a little bit about the A-Day game. The A-Day game is coming up, and this is another area where Coach DeBoer is putting Alabama right on the forefront of everything college football. If you remember back last year, the only spring game to be aired on ESPN was the Colorado spring game because the big arrival of their head coach. Same thing here, but Caleb DeBoer and the A-Day game, the spring game, will be the only game televised live by ESPN, and that's big news for the University of Alabama. So we've got the spring game being live on ESPN, and please don't let that distract you from going to the stadium and showing this team a whole lot of love and support, because once again, the recruits see that, the coaching staff see that, the current players see that, but if you can't make it to the game for whatever reason, it'll be on ESPN. So we had that here in the past couple of days. Once again, Mick is kind of under the weather, so we're kind of handling things here. You're stuck with me, but hey, it's okay. We'll talk Alabama football. I can talk Alabama football with you all long, but we're not going to do that. We're going to step aside and mind you that the show is being brought to you by Pearl River Resort, the beautiful resort, Choctaw, Mississippi. If you're into the gaming, hey, that's the place to go. The slot machines, they've got the tables where you can play some blackjack. You can play some roulette as well. That's one of my favorites. Don't forget Dancing Rabbit. If you're into golfing, beautiful golf course. And the weather right now, at least where I am, picture perfect. It'll be a great day to get some golf in and dancing. And don't forget the live entertainment coming up. We got Casey and the Sunshine Band. We got Brian McKnight. We have Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson. So many more there at Pearl River Resort. So check them out today. And don't forget to mention that you saw him on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. All right, so we hope Mick will be back with us tomorrow to chat some more about Alabama football. But a big few days, spring break is in the air, and so it's kind of slow down on the capstone until we get started back with practice next week. But hopefully some more big recruiting news coming out this week. When it happens, you'll hear it here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm Brett Elmore. Check me out in the mornings, 6 until 10 at WJLX 1015 FM, WJLX1015.com, live stream, and you can find me on iHeart, the iHeart app, the TuneIn app, the custom app. You can go to the App Store or Google Play and check out WJLX right there. All right, that's going to do it. Roll Tide, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.